Hey guys, Warmonger here, piggybacking right off of the last recording I just did. I've decided I want to dive in a bit more on something I kind of touched on for a split second in the previous one. The part about making connections with people, right? And, them sometimes, not sometimes, but them not always being genuine, because making genuine connections, well, it's difficult, right? We got, these people online telling you that certain things are red flags or whatever. Like, oh, opening up to people is a red flag. That's trauma dumping or oversharing or whatever the hell they call it. And they make that generalization, and it just shuts down anybody trying to be real, right? Like, some of us, me included, feel that it's like, oh, well, I shouldn't, enthuse about my interests, right? The things that I like and the things that I don't like, because that's overbearing. So, and that's wrong. I shouldn't do that. So now it's like, well, if I start talking about my interests, people are gonna think I'm some weirdo that just overshares everything, and I don't want to be seen like that. So I'm just gonna keep to myself, and I'm not gonna talk to anybody. Which is, honestly, I'm not ashamed. I give a shit. That's what I've done. There's like a select few people that I talk to anymore. And even then, I rarely talk to them, although with that, it's because they're busy, right? They're busy with life. Life happens, and, people don't have every second of every day for you, and not that I want them to or anything. That's why I don't talk to them super often. I'll talk to them every day because, they got their own shit going on. It's like, okay, yeah. They got their shit. I've got my shit. Everybody's got shit going on, so it just happens like that sometimes. We're not any less friends just because I don't talk to them every second of every day. It's just life happened. Life happens and continues to happen, so that's how it is. But as for other people, I don't really try to make connections with people anymore. I definitely don't go out and meet new people, and sure, my health does play a part of that. My health stemming off of other problems, and yeah, that certainly plays a very major role in that. But I think that even if I did have, the funding and all that to just go out and live life, as they call it, right? I wouldn't. I simply wouldn't. And I'll admit it. I'm scared to do so. These days, with how many things, like I said, how many things are seen as creepy or weird or red flags, I'm scared. Those aren't labels that are fun to have. I don't want that attached to me every time I go out. It's already bad enough that I think that happens sometimes. And a lot of people do think the same way. I'm not assuming that you do watching this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you're watching and listening and like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? And, well, hey, what I'll say to you if you're one of those people of, what the hell is this guy going on about? Is he fucking nuts or something? First of all, maybe. Maybe. But what I'll say is something that I said in the previous one that you may or may not have watched. Different people are different, right? And experience the world differently. But yeah, I'm scared to go out and make connections with people. It terrifies me because the only thing that races through my mind is that I'm an idiot that just decided to fucking open up the wall there. No. The thing that goes through my mind is these people are going to look at me weird. And I don't want to deal with that. I'm a freak, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, right? Just those automatic thoughts. That's what they're going to think of me. Yeah. That's not necessarily true. A good chunk of people don't just go around and the first person they go like, oh, look at that fucking freak of nature. Get this thing out of my sight. A good majority of people don't do that because they might be thinking the same thing. Of, oh my god, these people are going to think I'm a freak, a weirdo, a creep, a freak of nature. And because of that, we all tiptoe around each other. Because we don't know. We don't know when we look at the person standing right next to us. On the bus, on the train, walking through school hallways, at work, whatever have you, right? We don't know what's going on in that person's head because everybody's different. We don't know if we strike up a conversation with them, are they going to be like us, right? That person over there, is that person going to be like me? Are they going to want also to talk to somebody and form connections? Or are they going to think I'm a freak and a creep and a weirdo? I don't know what to do. Now, I'm not going to say to just talk to people, right? That's a lot. Some people might try to give you that advice. Just talk to people anyway. I'm not going to tell you to do that. When I myself wouldn't do that, I am completely fucking terrified of talking to new people in person. Now, I do it. I've done it successfully, but not to form connections. I've talked to strangers that's still horrifying cave noises. I've talked to strangers when I've needed to, right? But that wasn't out of a desire for connection. That was pure necessity. So that's different, right? That's not the same thing, and you can't use that. Talking to somebody out of necessity and talking to somebody out of desire for connection are not the same conversation. So you can't use that skill of, oh, well, I talked to somebody to ask them directions. I can totally talk to somebody to form a human connection with them. No. You probably can't. Maybe you can. I'm not telling you what your abilities are and aren't, but I can tell you what mine are and aren't, and I sure as shit can't do that. I am way too fucking scared. I'm way too fucking scared that they're gonna look at me and go like, oh, ew. because of the pretty much blatant brand of Asperger's that I most likely have. Which, again, call back to the previous day, you know, whoever's in charge of mental health things decided that's not a form of autism anymore. They just decided that, and it's like, great, so I've got all these problems socially, and now I guess I just don't have these problems somehow. Magically, I just don't have problems now? Gee, thanks. It was that easy. It's like, no, that doesn't get rid of the problem. But people are scared to form human connections because we're afraid of what other people will think of us. In that moment. Now, in general, do I care what people think of me? Not really, no. As a whole, no. But that feeling changes and is different when it's somebody that you know, when you're wanting to form a connection with somebody. Because you care about what the people close to you think. Because, well, they're the people close to you. They actually know you. If some random guy out there, right? Some random guy or girl out there, whatever, right? Thinks I don't know. Yeah, you know, let's pull a pretty bad one. They think I'm racist, right? I say something, and they're like, oh, well, this guy must be racist. Some random person I don't know says that and thinks that about me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what they think. I know the truth. And the truth doesn't change just because some random person that I don't know or care about thinks that I'm racist. But if my family or my friends, the few that I have, genuinely start believing that same thing, then that's a problem. That's bad, right? Or somebody, right? Absolute warning, absolute fantasy scenario here. I meet a girl, and when it's like, okay, well, let's go on a date, right? Then she suddenly starts to think I'm like racist or whatever, right? Branching off of that same example. She's not some random person that I don't know or give a crap about. She's somebody that I'm seeking to form a connection with. That now, because she made that assumption, I'm not going to be able to form a connection with. So, and I'm terrified of that. That's not something I want to go through. So I don't. I've opted out of a good chunk of living life. Not specifically because of like racism accusations, but just in general of like people making assumptions. They're gonna think that I'm something that I'm not based off of one thing that I say or do. And that's scary. And I don't want any part of it. And it negatively impacts me. Because we have this whole culture that's generated now. But these people, right, that talk about things as, bad and weird, creepy and freakish and crazy and red flags and this, that, and the other. Those same people will turn right around and question and go like, why don't people seem genuine anymore? Why don't people seem to want a connection? And not to stoke a gender war, but I see, right, a lot of, women and girls online going, well, guys don't seem like they're trying anymore. And, well, as a guy myself, we're not. We're not trying anymore. They're absolutely right. We're not. For a myriad of reasons. For me, it's because of what I've been talking about. I'm too scared to. Other guys are scared to for other reasons. Because a few bad apples online ruined things for the rest of us. A few bad actors got on there and started talking about how, like, oh, somebody does this, red flag, right? That's bad. That's it's vulgar and it's inappropriate for somebody to do something like that. And they're just trying to do this, and this, and it's like, yeah, it's bad. Like, this was a while back, but I started seeing that thing online about how somebody was talking about, not somebody, several people were talking about, oh, a guy holds a door open for you, he's just trying to look at your ass. Huh? I'm sorry, fucking what? I can't even begin to... Back then I couldn't begin to even dissect that blatant, just stupidity. I'm saying stupidity. Like, how... Like, are there people that do that? Yeah, probably. But to sit there and go like, anybody that does that is automatically trying to do that. What? So now, because of that, we got guys afraid to hold doors open. Guys don't want to hold doors open no more. They don't want to hold doors open for women because as now women looking at that decide to buy into it and believe that. Because, well, a bunch of people on the internet are saying it, and a lot of people all at once can't possibly be wrong, so they must be right. They start believing that, so guy holds a door open, just being polite, right? Maybe his mama raised him right. Maybe maybe guys like me, right? Who our fathers were, for one reason or another, not there. Maybe just not physically there, or they've passed, or whatever, right? Just not there, not part of your life. Or not part of your life in a meaningful way. So we're raised by our mothers. So, my mama, right? My mom, she raised me to be a gentleman, right? Not a gentleman, but a gentleman, right? Respectful, courteous, cordial, those sorts of things. But she taught me a little differently. I'll dive into that real quick. She taught me to do that, but the moment that I'm treated like shit for it, withdraw it. To anybody. Man, woman, adult, child. does not matter. My respect, well, my cordiality, whatever the word is, only extends so far, right? The moment that I'm treating somebody the way I was taught, and they do not respond in kind, I withdraw that treatment. Not in a sense of like, oh, I held the door open for this girl and she didn't immediately give me her phone number. I'm gonna be an asshole now because she's being such a bitch. No. But I hold open a door for somebody and they start, going off or whatever, or, they don't say thank you or whatever. I might voice that that's pretty fucking rude to not say thank you when somebody holds open a door, and loudly announce it enough that other people around will hear. Or I'll simply remember that person's face, right? And if we're both exiting at the same time or entering at the same time again, I won't hold the door open for them. That's all. I'm not gonna, go on some, whatever the hell they're called. Whole like, oh, I held the door open for her and she ain't be nice to me, so I'm gonna treat her like crap. Nope, I'm just simply not going to treat her with that same level of being cordial that I previously did. And that goes for anybody. Right? I use girls as an example because that's the one usually is most common. But for me, actually, it's more common with the elderly people. See, they automatically assume, the whole, oh, respect your elders thing has to be ingrained into children, and it's absolute. Whereas my mama didn't, tell me that respect for elders is absolute. She said it's automatic that you start with. I'm not sure why I'm like lagging or rubber banding all of a sudden. I don't like that. It's not good. She didn't tell me it was absolute, but she did say that it was first and automatic. But if I am not responded to in kind, then I have no obligation to continue to respond with that same level of respect and pleasantry. I've held doors open for elderly people before, and they didn't say thank you, and I kind of just stared at them, and they were like, and this one guy was like, I'm not gonna thank you for something that you should be doing by default. And I was like, you, sir, are a very rude and bitter individual. I hope you have the day you deserve. And I left it at that. And he went off ranting about how, kids these days have no respect for their elders. Well, when you treat people younger than you like trash, you can't be surprised when they don't, take too kindly to it. You feel me? But they don't even have to, and I'm not one of those like, oh, they have to verbally say thank you. You just simply acknowledge the fact that I'm standing there, holding the door open. Even a glance is enough of an acknowledgement. Like, yeah, I'm looking at you, I acknowledge that you have held the door open for me. That's it. Not one of those people that's like, oh, you gotta smile. No, but a smile does work too. You look and you smile, and it's like, okay, yeah, this person acknowledged that I opened the door, and they are grateful. But to sit there and assume that, phone went off. But to sit there and assume that guys that do that, oh, they're just trying to check out your ass. Most of us do not give enough of a shit. Because, again, we're terrified, for one reason or another, of looking for a connection. Speaking of connection, I really don't know what the hell is wrong with my game. At all. Someone making it damn near unplayable. Oops. Not the button I wanted. Trying to juggle these thoughts and trying to think about other things. Not working too well. Oh boy. Right. Oh, my train of thought just completely derailed. Man. What a bummer. There we go. Let me get these going. Yeah. Connections. Yeah. I think it's just this part that causes me problems, and that's it. Something's wrong in that spot, and that's it. Connections. Making connections with people. Scary. Like I've said, full on admitted I'm terrified of it. Because that's what I need, torches. This is damn near unplayable. Right, this might have to be a quicker one then. That's unbearable. I have to just sit here. Connections. We want them. People talk about how we want them. But they just seem unachievable. Because people are scared to be genuine around others. And like I said, I get it. Me too. Ain't no shame in it. But not really sure, what to do about it. Right? Because again, people would just default to, just talk to people, but you can't just talk to people these days. because that can be seen as harassment. It's like, if talking to people is seen as harassment, then how the hell do we make new connections? You don't, right? That's at least the unfortunate, personal, incorrect, that I'll add, conclusion that I've come to. I've checked out of the whole social game. If you're thinking about it, please do not follow in my footsteps. It is not good. That, I will tell you, is the wrong choice. I checked out a long time ago, and I've been suffering for it ever since. It is not fun. It is not good. If you're watching still and you've watched the other things I've done, if there's anything that you listen to, definitely listen to this. Do not socially check out if you can avoid it. If it's something that you're contemplating, don't contemplate anymore. Just don't do it. It is not worth it. You might think that you'll get like peace of mind. You don't. I sit here regretting it every day. Every second of my life I regret it. And I've dug myself so far into that hole that there's nothing I can do to dig myself out. I dug myself deep, and I've got no shovel. And I've got no way back up. And it's not out of lack of desire either. You know, like I said, I want to be genuine. But there's just too much that could go wrong. You know, and I'm scared of it going wrong. So I just don't. I avoid it. I gave up in that aspect. Which I know that sounds rather silly. I'm here talking about advice and all that, and meanwhile, like, by the way, guys, I've given up on this certain aspect. Yeah, don't do what I did and give up on social aspect. Because I want to make connections. I didn't do it out of wanting to. Give up, I mean. I gave up because I felt like I was backed into it. Which, you know, now looking at what, you know, society's become, kinda backed into it. But backed into it more in the sense of, like, somebody suggesting that you do something, and then actually doing it. Like, yeah, they didn't make you do it, but they led you to the idea and you did it. So, yeah, you are to blame for doing it, but they're also kind of got a tiny bit of blame for giving you the idea to do it. That really looks like a cross. Something could be said about that. But I'm not going to say it. Oh, it just leads to here. Okay. That's boring. I thought that would lead to somewhere really cool. I want to leave that there, though. I like that. It's Ooh, no. I should put a torch right there. Not here. Actually, no, I'm gonna need one there too for light. Yeah. There we go. Anyway. We want connection. Because we're social creatures. Humans. But everything in society nowadays feels like it goes against that. Feels like it's trying to stop us from making connections. And Minecraft cave noises are still horrifying. But what I want to do, I want to try to form connections still, right? Maybe not ones in person, because, I don't exactly have the ability to just, go around and go out places. Because I've got no problem talking to people online, right? That was laggy. Technically talking one-sided to you guys. I mean, you guys can talk back to me, but I can't hear you. I see what you're saying, though. I do. I really get what you're saying, but I don't know. Seems kind of risky. Nah, I'm kidding. But just, I think, I think, I think maybe what we should do, I mean, some people have already done it. I've seen it. I've seen other people do things like this. And I've kind of, sort of tried to do it, but it didn't come to fruition. Is try to talk to people online, right? Maybe. Maybe not go on full, like, I, am John Smith from, Bumblefuck, New Mexico, and this is my address. No, not anything like that, but, just talking to people. Can't make the in-person connections? Maybe make some online ones. Make online friends. Online friends, just as valid as real ones. If you have an actual connection to them. Now, you do have to absolutely be careful with that. But me, right? Me. We'll say me. We won't say me. I don't know where I was going with that. I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't even think I had a thought with that one. Really. Yeah, I don't really know where I was going to go with that one. Anyhow, it's here. I want to talk to people online, right? Try to connect with people somewhat. So, I don't know, if you're still watching at this point, comment something, right? Say something, talk to me, right? And I'll talk back. Talk about what the hell ever. Try at least. YouTube comments are known to fuck up. But still worth a shot, right? Still worth a shot, I think. And if it works, great. If not, then, well, it is what it is. Actually, I've actually got another topic, so I'll end this one here about, and then immediately dive into that other topic. Kind of branches off connections a bit. So, yeah, I'll go attack. You'll be seeing me attack those hay bales in this next one. If you watch it. If not, then I've been and will still be Warmonger the next time you see me. Bye for now.